welcome back, everyone. Wait, are we doing real names this time?
Yes.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Julia.
And this is the next part of the Intrepid trip.
So, the Emerald Isle, also known as Ireland.
Yes.
And our first city was Dublin.
Yeah. But how did we get there? I think we need to remind people where we were.
We do this a lot. So.
I know you can see Manchester. Nope, that's way too far back. You have lost track if that's where you are in the series. You've skipped ahead, and we're okay with it. The last video was in Liverpool. So between Liverpool and this video, we're going to talk about the transition, but we'll just show it on a map real quick. We took a little train down to Chester, which I'm reading about in my book. Ooh, very ancient stuff. Then we took another train over to Holyhead, which is how I'll say it as an American. And then we took a ferry to Dublin. All right, let's see some more of this.
So, some scenery, some shots of beautiful Liverpool to Chester.
Yeah,
I guess.
and then we also took pictures
some sights,
from Chester out to Holyhead.
And I think it's the next one. There we go. So you can tell because it has the ocean in the background. We're closer to Holyhead.
Then immediately, this is on the ship.
Yes.
This is a nice ferry.
Oh, this was a really nice ferry. So it's obviously called the Stena Line, and
that's the company.
If you did see our Liverpool video, we did throw a little Easter egg out there. It just happened to be the ship that was
just hanging out. You know,
was
they
hanging out
they wanted to hear some Beatles
at the beach there. So great, really good line. It was such a quick. From the time it was ready for us to start boarding to the time we're actually ended up in the ferry,
real comfortable,
really short.
And not just that, but the space to hang out was very luxurious.
Yes.
They have a machine that just makes hot chocolate. I mean, like, everything was very thought out.
Yes.
And I very much appreciate
So
that.
it wasn't just a great ship, a ferry, which it is, but it's also everything about it, from the waiting areas to the whole system. So it was really good.
It's very smooth.
Yes.
All right, so let's keep going.
So this is us leaving the UK. Bye. This was just right outside my window, so I just took a quick
goodbye to England and
couple
Wales
of snapshots
and Scotland and all of Great Britain.
Off to a whole another country,
right.
Whole another stamp in our passport.
Sure.
Yeah. So, this was where we were seated.
Shall we talk a little bit about this trip?
Yeah, so it was a 5 to 6 hour...
Yeah, something like
that. 5 to 6 hour ferry ride. We started right after breakfast, and we arrived pretty late at night.
Yeah, in the evening. I think that we need to talk about how full it was.
Oh!
So we got there early.
Yes.
And, they drive you onto the actual ferry, and this is pretty normal. And
so basically from the moment you leave the waiting area, you hop into either a shuttle or a bus.
Sure, this is
and
what
they
we were used
take
to
you onto the boat directly if you're a foot traveler, and then from there you go up an elevator and you get to the main
where to hang
observation
out.
where there's restaurants with food and stores to buy stuff,
souvenirs, whatever. But they were kind of urging us forward, and the place looked pretty empty. And they're like, "No, you really want to go now."
So, and we're
not
looking,
fighting anybody. We're just gathering our stuff.
It was more than an hour before we were supposed to set off, but we are early birds, and so they're like, "Yeah, come on."
There's maybe half a dozen people there, and everybody's kind of like, "Okay, we're going."
Yeah, so we grabbed all our stuff. We went with them, and it was actually kind of nice because we were like, "Oh, it's not that." We weren't stuffed as like sardines in the shuttle, which was really nice too. So everybody kind of had their own seat.
And then more people started arriving.
So we got there, and it's empty. Absolutely empty. So we find these nice seats, as you can see,
right by
with a ledge and a table, and right by the window.
And chargers, I might add.
And chargers. So we were very lucky because slowly
more people came on.
More people.
And they were wearing shirts that had like Wales on one, and other
Ireland
people had Ireland
sports,
shirts.
all sports.
And so we started wondering, like, what's going on here?
And then we started hearing what was going on, and it was a lot of drunken laughter.
Yeah, so, I mean, remember, this is hours, this isn't minutes. Even after we leave, we're still like, do you think these are two teams that are about to play each other, like kids, or...
And there were a number of young people, so that's what made us think maybe
like,
college or university.
But, you know, as time went on, and we
more
looked at
older
the
people.
ages, and we kind of looked around a little better to get it. So, no, that is not what was going on.
Not going on at all.
It was a huge Six Nations match between Cymru, Wales, and Ireland. That was happening in Dublin. Now, meanwhile, there is standing room only, and it is wrapped around the bar that's not far from us.
Yep.
The whole place smells of alcohol. This is like a great introduction to Dublin.
And remember, it's Europe, so there were teenagers drinking a lot as well.
There was heavy drinking and people who in America could not legally drink.
Yeah. So let's try to update ourselves a little bit.
Oh, I like dating you.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering how the game turned out, for all of those people traveling with us and hopeful that Wales would do great, I have terrible news. Oh, we're bouncing the whole thing.
Oh, it's just hilarious, that's why.
So these were the people, I mean, not these actual people, but the fans of the Red were mostly...
So a few people in those stands there were probably on the ship, on the ferry
absolutely.
With us.
When we got off the ferry, they ended up having buses to get people places, but most of them didn't have any interest in going to a hotel. They wanted to go straight to a bar.
A pub, as they say.
Yes, that's fair. That was me.
And there was literally guys shouting on our bus, "To the nearest pub! To the nearest
And
pub!"
so after everyone else was dropped off, we they're like, "Oh, and where are you guys going?" So we named our hotel.
And this bus driver,
wonderful gentleman,
cool guy, dropped us off right at our door.
We were like trying to figure out how far away we were going to.
We thought we were going to have a long walk
with
basically.
all of our bags, right?
Yeah,
and he's like, "I'm going that way anyway." I mean, I don't know if that was true, if he was just nice, but he certainly was. And all right,
so that was our first experience in Ireland. That was pretty crazy.
That was absolutely unhinged, but wonderful. All right.
Oh, so this was, of course, the first time we kind of see land, the Irish land ho there. So that was exciting for me because I'm the one that's Irish and very much like Ireland is, you know, my ultimate bucket
She's
list.
More Irish than I am Scottish. How about that?
Yeah.
that mess
and lighthouses are just cool, so I thought that was an awesome shot.
And that's another shot of it after we'd passed it.
Yeah.
Kind of turning backwards to get that shot.
And just another shot of the land.
So let's talk about where we were.
Oh.
We are... I mean, you're right there.
You're right there.
This was our easy hotel. The best of the
best easy hotel. And we joked that it was because it was Europe's or Ireland's easy hotel and not the UK. So
look, all I'm saying is England didn't do easies very well, but Ireland did. Now, I'm not trying to be political.
They had a window that we could look out of, and they had a bathroom that was a decent size.
And the toilet worked the
and
whole
they
time.
Didn't charge us for hot water, and they got us free coffee every once in a while. They had a lobby where we could actually sit down and do stuff.
It was crazy.
So it was wonderful. Wonderful, easy. But, so there's a couple other things on here.
So up here is the National Museum of Ireland, which includes the National Museum of Ireland Decorative Arts, which I think of as the great museum that seems really close. I feel like I'm about to spoil so much.
We are going to have our next video regarding some of these places, but as you can see, what was really cool is how close it was to our hotel. It was literally like right there, so that was
pretty awesome. Whether we realized that the first time or not.
We might not have.
Yeah. So over here is Guinness.
The Guinness Brewery, and we'll more of that later.
And this is actually a rail line, like a, what would you call it, tram?
Like like a streetcar-ish kind of tram-like thing.
Anything else you want on this?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Right, let's just flip a little You want to talk about some food?
Our first meal. So on the right there is Daniel's breakfast. We went to this little hole in the wall that was right on the water, across the river there.
Mine's on the left.
Yours is on the right. It's the full Irish breakfast.
This is the right. Oh, that's just I forgot which one's my right.
So this is a full Irish breakfast. I think most of you can recognize all of that, except those little black things. That's actually the, is it
blood sausage?
Called? Blood sausage.
Pretty sure that's what they were.
Or pudding, blood pudding, maybe. I'm not sure.
I mean, I ate them pretty fast. I was hungry.
And of course he had tea, and I had and the toast as well. So he also had toast.
This might look like a full English breakfast, but how dare you suggest that?
How dare you suggest that? It all came from Ireland anyway, as they said.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had a little smaller rendition of that. So basically the same thing, though.
Yeah.
So yum.
Fantastic and cheap because we're in euros now.
We're in euros now, so much. It was easier on our pocketbooks. Yeah. Next, now I had to point this out because this is blew my mind.
We've held on to this picture for a while.
Aside from soda bread, which was freshly baked that day.
Fantastic soda bread. Everyone tries soda bread.
We got all 5 of those things. Everything there was under €1. So I think like the jam was like 75 of their change, whatever the euro change is.
I mean, it's
cents.
Yeah,
it was. It
makes sense.
It makes sense. Everything was around like 95 cents. It was under €1. So everything there.
Desperately wants to say pence.
I definitely want to say, but everything there under €5, and if we try to convert that to American, it's a little over $5.
But still,
but look at all of that.
And
that lasted
us
because
in Hawaii. That's $1 an apple.
One thing we have to point out is that we were only in Dublin for a few days, which is why this video is a little short, and the next videos are just the museums.
Cardiff was an add-on, and what it was pulling days from had to be somewhere, so it was pulling them from Dublin.
And we made that conscious decision because we were spending so much time in Ireland, and it's very expensive in Ireland
Wales
in general.
Was being skipped completely,
so that's why we pulled
Wales
a
was
lot.
Worth pulling some over, but yes,
and Dublin especially of Ireland was very expensive. So anyway, moving on. This is me in front of the Guinness.
In case you don't believe she's Irish, this was a required picture.
And just as a typical Irish person of Irish heritage, Guinness is my favorite beer.
Yep.
Malt-like drink. So there's that. So it was really fun to kind of take our daily walk next to the Guinness brewery. But
just some pictures.
Pictures of what we saw,
what's around.
Our walks, and how beautiful Dublin is.
Sure.
And this is my favorite picture.
So the one.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to mention on the right. This is just a huge area with apartments, and it has a grocery store, which
there's a few shops on like the bottom and the apartments on the top. And this was just an awesome view. That I really, really loved, and I was just like, wow, this is what I picture when I think of like Dublin as a city, just kind of the buildings that they had. It's just really beautiful. So a quick note, they look like they're the same picture, but one is actually from one side of the river and the other one's from the other side of the river, believe it or not. That's why the poles are there.
Oh, that's going to mess with people. That's going to mess with people. They're going to be 1,000% sure and stare at this for an hour trying to figure out how that statement's possible. No, for real. We're not messing with you.
Maybe we are. I don't know. Study it. And, of course, industrial building. I thought that was really cool, too. I just have a lot of really cool shots of the city.
Yeah.
But that is our last picture for this. Wait. We do. That's right. We do have a couple more.
We have some teaser videos.
That's right. I forgot about the teasers.
This is part of the mall. We didn't really take a lot of pictures in the mall because we were busy eating.
Yeah.
Fantastic food court.
And I just really liked the name of this coffee place. It's really cute.
Asian food, which was a hit or miss in England. No offense.
Was actually pretty good in Ireland. It wasn't bad. Yeah.
And the prices were finally reasonable. Not
Yep.
that we're going to talk about euros being cheaper the whole time, but this is the first video. We get to mention it several times.
So this is one of the museums that we had gone to. It's really cool.
Who knows what kind of museum, right? And this is
another museum that was near us. So
we may have mentioned the names of one of these or something else. There's spoilers everywhere.
But that's kind of what we have for Dublin. Like I said, it wasn't much. We weren't here very long.
Longer than Liverpool, less than Cardiff.
So we managed to get 2 days of museums and another couple of days for sightseeing. That was kind of all the time we had in Dublin. But we hope you enjoyed it.
Yes. Till next time, everyone.
La